Hello, I'm Diego Villanueva. I'm a chess coach, and in today's video, I want to show you what is the training I'm following to improve my rating. I used to be stuck at the 2200s, and now I'm 2400, and that increasing happened in a matter of a week. And I want to show you the system so you can replicate it, you can make it yours, and I'm going to focus on the fundamentals. I want to teach you how to create a system in a world where everyone else is doing just tactics and they are playing. You want to prepare this. You want to be smart about your chess trading. And in today's video, I want to show you that. Now, right now, I feel very happy about how I'm playing. Okay, I'm a chess coach. I've been coaching people for the last 8 years, and especially I work with adult players. Now, the thing is, I've spent. I need to give you a little bit of background so you can see how is this possible, because I don't want to promise you that hey, you're gonna win 200 rating points in 1 week, right? That's not possible. But I want to give you a little bit of context so you understand the things that I'm going to show you. I'm a chess coach, okay? So I've been working, but I'm coaching people, but I don't spend time working for myself, like studying chess. But like around 10 days ago, I decided to give it a shot again, to improve my chess, to train chess again. And back in the day when I was playing better, my best rating on Rapid was 2500. My best Blitz rating was 2418. I am talking about maybe 4 years, 5 years ago. Back in the day, during the pandemic, I was studying more chess. Then I dropped it, and then I stopped studying chess, right? But 2 weeks ago, I started playing some Blitz matches, and man, I was losing game after game after game. And it didn't feel very nice. It didn't feel very nice because you know that feeling when it's 2 a.m. in the morning and then you are very, very unhappy about how you're playing, you're making blunders, you feel stupid, right? And you have this inner toxic talk with yourself, and it's pretty bad. And I had it, I had that situation. And I was like, it's enough. It's enough. I'm gonna train chess again. I'm gonna take it seriously. But just because that's not going to guarantee me anything. So one of the biggest shifts that I did is that I'm not playing the game of gaining rating points. I'm here to learn, to keep growing. Okay? And I'm saying this because every time I feel tempted to play chess at night just so I can win more points, I can seek my peak rating, I can recover the points I'm losing, I can remember this mantra. It's more like, hey, you are not playing to win the night, all right? That's a short-term game. You are in a long-term game. Just because I win a bunch of games tonight, it doesn't mean I'm gonna win a bunch of games tomorrow. Because when that happens, every time you feel miserable after your chess practice, it's just because you're putting your self-worth at the same level of your results. Results equals how good you see yourself. And that's a problem because for some people that can be motivation. When you're winning, you can feel very motivated. But the problem is that you're going to feel very excited, but that's one extreme. When you play a game of two extremes, you're going to feel very good when you win, but you're going to feel devastated when you lose, all right? And that's not a nice feeling because from there, you're going to develop a very unhealthy relationship with the game. This introduction, I think it's very important so you understand the mentality behind the thing I built and the thing I'm using with my students, because once you understand this, you will be able to create your own structure, okay? I'm not going to give you the definite training plan. You will develop your plan, okay? But I'm going to give you the structure and the right foundations. So yeah, I pretty much playing well right now. The other day, I actually beat an international master, and it was a very intense game. But at some point, well, I just did my best. It was a blitz game, okay? But I did my best, and I beat him. And at some point, we reached an end game. I have to admit that since it was a blitz game, I struggle with time. I spend most of the time playing with 13 seconds. I mean, that's my fault, not his fault. and I was trying to play fast. So at some point, I lost the whole advantage. I mean, I reached this position where I think white should be better because, I mean, the rook is pretty active, but still, it's not a guarantee. Luckily for me, eventually he made a mistake, and from there, I capitalized the game and I won the game. But, you know, I was very happy because this is an international master. And, I mean, I don't remember if this game allowed me to reach 2400, but eventually I reached 2400. And that's awesome because I was stuck at 2200 for a long time, and I knew I could do much better. You know, that feeling that you know you can do much better, that you have more potential for this, but for some reason things are not clicking for you. I had that feeling, and I was like, you know, I'm teaching people how to get unstuck. Of course, I know how to get unstuck. So now I'm training, and now let me show you what's my system. Okay. This is what I call the monthly tracker. Essentially, this is something I created, all right? And essentially, it's like a Google Sheet. You can also call it, you can do this thing on Excel as well. And what I do here is like I track what I do every single day, okay? Of course, you know, I'm gonna explain you how it works. First of all, I have these items. Right now, I'm focusing on three main things. My training is composed by three big elements. The first one is calculation, the second one is positional judgment, and the third one is opening study. Okay, calculation, positional judgment, and opening study. And I'm going to explain you why I've picked these items and how they are helping me. And actually, I just started 10 days ago, maybe less, and I went from being miserable to feel very excited about my chess journey. Because my vision is the long term again. Like I can have a horrible day and lose my points one day, but then the next day I'm gonna play well again and I'm gonna recover my points and gain a bit more. And I'm okay with that because every day I'm learning. So I'm playing for the long term and I'm loving it. So I'm in a good relationship right now with chess. I feel more like clear. My mind is more like, yeah, I can focus instantly and that's amazing. And I think like this training is helping me a lot. So again, what I'm showing you is what I'm using with my current clients and also what I'm doing for myself. So the first item is calculation sessions. That means like for 20 to 30 minutes, I work with my calculations. What I'm doing right now is I'm using pawn endgames to train my calculation skills. And with this pawn endgames, basically what I'm doing is I set some positions and I take my time. I appreciate the position. I calculate because pawn endgames require calculation and I solve them. And I prefer pawn endgames puzzles rather than, you know, typical puzzles, random puzzles, because random puzzles, sometimes you can solve them with luck. You can't solve calculation problems or pawn endgames exercises with luck. You can't. Like, you know how to solve it or you don't. And the only way of solving these things is with good calculation skills. So I take my time, I try to visualize everything, and in a matter of 30 minutes, I can do 2 to 3 exercises. And that puts me on the mood that I need for the next actions, okay? Because actually the headspace is very important. If you play chess without the right headspace, if you train chess without the headspace, then you are going to make mistakes or you are not going to connect with a training session. And I have to say that if you don't do that, then you are not going to enjoy it at all. And ideally, I mean, if you're going to dedicate some time to chess, enjoy it, okay? So basically what I'm doing is every time I finish my calculation session, I check the box. And then the second item is calculation database updated, because what I'm doing is every time I see a position I really like in my pawn endgame training or calculation training, what I'm doing is I'm saving that position and I'm saving that into a database. Okay, if you know what's ChessBase, maybe you're already familiar with databases. A database is essentially a list of games, right? Or a list of positions that you later can study. It's a place where you can save a bunch of these things. And most people use databases to have a collection of their games. A database is a collection, basically. And well, yeah, I like to collect these endgame positions in one place so later I can revisit them. Because it's important that you have a place where you can revisit stuff that you like, new ideas. Because again, memory is fragile. Sometimes you can study something and 2 weeks later you can totally forget about it. And that's a problem. So you better have a database. You can do it on ChessBase, you can do it on chess.com, you can do it on Lichess. It's up to you. So I make sure, this takes me like 5 minutes, but still I put it here because this is a reminder of don't forget doing this. Because usually when you study, you don't want to keep doing stuff. You're like, okay, finally I finished my session, right? But it's important that you stay and you save those things into the database. That's the third item, or well, actually the second pillar is the positional judgment. Now, some people would call this a strategy or middle game or whatever. The reason why I say positional judgment, and I like to frame it that way, it's because positional judgment is basically the skill of evaluating a position, making an assessment to determine who's better by how much. It's like, okay, this position in the middle game, white is better because XYZ, and actually it's not only better, it's winning for these reasons. That is positional judgment, and that's a very important skill. Okay, how do I do this? Well, basically, when I watch a video or when I read a book, I take my time to see a position, and I spend 5 minutes to deconstruct the position, to appreciate the position. Because sometimes one of the reasons why most people lose in chess is not because they are not talented, it's because they're being impulsive. And that's why most blunders happen, So there are ways to fight that. You need to learn how to appreciate something. But that requires some time. So every time you have a position and you think you have it, it's like, oh, I already understand this. Let's make a move. That is a trap, and most people are not even aware of this trap. So what I do here when it comes to evaluate a position, I take my time, I take a deep breath, and I start deconstructing the position. So let's say that in the first view, I understand the position by 30%. 5 minutes later, maybe I see the position, I understand the position in a 50%, and that helps me a lot. Okay, that helps me tremendously because I can expand my knowledge of a position, and I start making some notes. I have a tablet where I write down my ideas, and then I contrast those ideas to the ideas of the coach, to the video, or the book, and then I can see how far or close I am. That's how I improve my positional judgment. Okay, Diego, why is that so important? Because let's say that you have a position in the middle game where you thought you were losing, and then you consult the position with the computer says it was equal. You're going to play it accordingly to the assessment. If you feel you're losing, you're going to be like, okay, I'm losing, let's resign. But maybe the position is equal, nothing wrong with your position, and it's playable. But you need to understand what makes that position playable. That is what you develop when you work your positional judgment. And at the end we have, and once again, I update the position I'm studying into the my database, another database I have, and at the end I have the opening study. Now, this is like one of the important pillars of my training, but it shouldn't be yours. What do I mean by this? If you are below 1,000 rating points, don't focus too much on openings, okay? If you are below 1,400, don't focus that much on openings. I mean, you can, okay? The stronger you're getting, the more openings you're going to require. Nothing wrong with the studying openings, by the way. But studying openings is more a work of memorizing stuff, like trying to reflect on some ideas, principles, understanding some things. But you're not going to do a hard work, okay? It's not going to be the same mental work in calculation than in opening studies, okay? That's very important. So here's like something you can change. If you believe your opening repertoire is good enough, you can stop there and do more tactics. All right, but hard tactics, not the simple tactics that you solve on chess.com or Lichess. Really hard tactics from serious books, that would be my recommendation. But in my case, I decided doing this because my opening repertoire is pretty decent, but it's not updated. Like, it's outdated, actually. So I am relearning the opening some of the openings I'm playing, so I can do much better. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. So that's why I'm including that here. And this is a very specific project because I have already a list of openings or variations I need to study. Once I, consolidate that, I'm going to spend more of my time doing other stuff. So that's why it's important to work also in terms of projects. Right now, I have a big project of having a good enough opening repertoire. Once that it's done, I'm going to move on to other things. Maybe I'm going to spend more time doing hard tactics. Who knows? And this is it. This little thing has helped me to reach 2400, playing the best chess. I wouldn't say of my life, because when I was competing, I think I was playing my best chess back in the day. But I am, again, the long term, right? Maybe tomorrow I lose all my points and I go back to 2300. But if I keep taking care of the input, the output is the result, the outcome, the rating points is going to take care of itself. Most people put so much emphasis on getting more rating points. And the thing is, you are not in control of that. You can't control the points. I mean, you could trick yourself to think like if you win more games, you're going to win more points, which actually happens, right? But the thing is, can you win all your games? Not necessarily. And for sure, you will have good days and you will have bad days. The most important thing is like to have more good days than bad days. And that's how you steadily progress. But at the end of the day, you cannot be in control of that. But you can be you can put your control on the input. Stuff like this. Okay? So I hope this gives you some ideas. I'm actually hosting a workshop of how to create your own tracker. All right? And I'm doing it tomorrow, depending on when you watch this. Okay? I'm hosting this workshop on Friday, 19th of December, right? At 7 p.m. Eastern time. And if you want to find more information about the stuff we're going to do inside of it, go to the link in the description so you can register and you can be part of the workshop. What are you going to get out of the workshop? Okay? I'm going to explain you exactly what I do. Like, I'm going to show you some of the positions I used to train so you can have an idea of what positions you should train for yourself. I'm going to give you a tracker. You're going to have a copy that you can just like get, right? You can get your own copy of this and you can adapt it to your needs. So you can do this stuff and you can track the stuff you're doing, And I'm going to guide you through the process. It's going to be like a 90-minute, 2-hour workshop where I'm going to give you a tracker. I'm going to help you to create your tracker and track the stuff that you need based on the material you already have. Maybe most likely you already have a bunch of books that you haven't read and you don't know where to start, or a bunch of courses that you have bought and you don't know where to start. So I'm going to help you to gain clarity on how to have this and how to adapt all the stuff you already have and create your the best possible training system for you. But I'm not only going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about this, but we are going to cover other things. This is the system, all right? But it's also important to talk about the setup and the headspace, which are two things I haven't discussed in this video, but you're going to hear me talking about these things tomorrow night. Now, in case you watch this tomorrow, still go to the link because maybe I have some updates about future workshops about this same topic, right? Depending on how much people wants a tracker like this. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like this video and you want me to keep talking about how to improve the systems you have, then let me know in the comments. All right, I hope that I can see you tomorrow in the workshop. I think you're going to enjoy it a lot, and yeah, hopefully I can meet you tomorrow in this workshop I'm hosting about the 2026 chess system. That's the name of the workshop. So see you tomorrow, and that's it. Bye.